In today's digital age, the face of organized crime has changed. No longer is it ruled by hardened gangsters in smoky pubs or tattooed enforcers on motorbikes. The masterminds of modern empires wear tracksuits, wield smartphones, and vanish into the crowds of youth. They are smooth-faced, smart, and disturbingly ordinary. Let's get into today's story. Few illustrate this chilling evolution better than Eddie Burton. At just 23 years old, Burton was the head of a sophisticated 20 million pound drug smuggling ring that spanned multiple countries. To the outside world, he looked like any other lad from Liverpool. Slight frame, baby face, and a schoolboy grin. But behind that youthful mask hid a criminal mastermind fluent in the languages of tech, trust, and trafficking. But Burton didn't rise to the top alone. By his side was Sian Banks, his 25-year-old partner in both romance and crime. More than just an accomplice, Banks was instrumental in helping Burton evade capture, launder money, and manage his double life across Europe. Eddie Burton was born and raised in Liverpool, a city known for both its cultural brilliance and its deep-rooted criminal underworld. While public records reveal little about his early years, interviews with family members sketch a picture of a boy already leaning toward trouble. His grandmother, Margaret Burton, described him as a tearaway from primary school, already displaying signs of defiance and mischief. Despite having a natural intelligence and charm, Eddie quickly gravitated toward street life. In his neighborhood, drug dealing was often more accessible than part-time jobs. He mimicked older boys, soaking up street smarts and using his charisma to earn trust. By age 10, Burton was already working as a drug runner for local dealers, transporting narcotics across the city with little suspicion. Who would question a child? His youthful appearance shielded him from early scrutiny, but it also placed him in an unofficial apprenticeship. He learned the hierarchies, how to avoid police detection, and most importantly, how to remain loyal to those in power. These early experiences formed the building blocks of his future empire. As Burton moved into his teenage years, his role in the underworld expanded. No longer content with simply running packages, he began organizing small deals himself. He built a network, negotiated prices, and started understanding the supply chain of drug trafficking. Between 2016 and 2017, Burton mysteriously disappeared twice, prompting police searches and panicked family pleas. What appeared at the time to be episodes of vulnerability are now seen in a more sinister light. Investigators now believe those vanishings were deliberate, opportunities for Burton to disappear from the system, explore smuggling routes, and forge stronger ties within international networks. Each disappearance was followed by a quiet return. He never explained where he'd gone. But one thing was clear. Every time he came back, he seemed smarter, more independent, and more ambitious. By 18, Eddie Burton had become a ghost in the system. He used false names, burner phones, and encrypted messaging apps to communicate with contacts across Europe. He partnered with traffickers in the Netherlands, Germany, and Spain, orchestrating high-stakes deals with the precision of a logistics firm. This was no corner boy hustle. Burton was operating at a scale that mirrored drug cartels. Modified lorries, false fuel tanks, encrypted apps, and fake documentation became tools of the trade. His operation trafficked hundreds of kilos of heroin, cocaine, and ketamine into the UK, hidden in secret compartments and moved across borders like legitimate cargo. By the early 2000s and 20s, Burton was jetting between Spain, the Netherlands, and Germany, while maintaining a low profile in the UK. Surveillance would later show him overseeing shipments, giving orders remotely, and meeting with international couriers in luxury apartments and hotel suites. Around this time, Sian Banks entered the picture. Described by prosecutors as more than just Burton's romantic partner, she was a critical figure in his operation. A former hospitality worker with no criminal record, Banks seemed an unlikely accomplice. But behind closed doors, she helped Burton manage the laundering of millions. She arranged accommodations, set up shell companies, coordinated overseas transfers, and maintained his alias-driven lifestyle. When Burton became a fugitive, it was Banks who helped him disappear. She booked flights under false names, wired money, and acted as his liaison when he needed to stay hidden. More than just an accessory, Banks was a strategist, a ghostwriter of the empire's financial infrastructure. Burton's operation began to unravel in the summer of 2022. 2 lorries were stopped at the Port of Dover during routine inspections. What officers found was staggering. One truck contained 90 kilograms of ketamine, 50 kilograms of cocaine, and 25 kilograms of heroin. The other held 142 kilograms of cocaine concealed within a modified fuel tank. Altogether, the street value of the drugs seized exceeded £20 million. But it wasn't just the drugs that shocked investigators, it was the forensic evidence. Burton's fingerprints and DNA were found inside both vehicles, including within hidden compartments. The illusion of distance was shattered. This forensic link gave authorities their breakthrough. Surveillance was ramped up, bank accounts frozen, and associates tracked. As law enforcement pieced together Burton's digital trail, messages, transfers, phone pings, his identity became crystal clear. He fled the UK within days. For nearly 2 years, Eddie Burton evaded capture. Using fake IDs, he moved between the Netherlands, Germany, and Spain. In the Netherlands, he allegedly continued coordinating shipments using encrypted apps. In Germany, he stayed with criminal associates and used fake passports to avoid detection. In Spain, he settled into the party scene of Ibiza, hiding in plain sight among the tourist crowds. During this period, Sian remained closely involved. She traveled under aliases, kept communications secure, and helped Burton remain invisible. Her actions allowed him to maintain a lifestyle of luxury, despite being one of the UK's most wanted men. But as with many criminals who fly too close to the sun, one slip was all it took. In August 2023, a disturbance at Ibiza's famous Pacha nightclub brought local police to the scene. Burton was briefly detained and fingerprinted. That scan revealed what Spanish authorities didn't expect. Their detainee was Eddie Burton, wanted for drug trafficking in the UK. He was immediately taken into custody. Sian Banks, who had been living nearby under another alias, was arrested days later. Spanish authorities found burner phones, fake documentation, and encrypted devices in the apartment they had shared. The web had finally closed. After his arrest, Burton was placed in extradition proceedings. While Germany briefly considered charges for crimes committed within their borders, the UK won jurisdiction. In March 2024, Burton was extradited and remanded in custody. The evidence against him was overwhelming: fingerprints, DNA, financial records, encrypted communications, and testimony from captured couriers. Knowing the odds, Burton entered a guilty plea to 4 counts of importing Class A and B drugs. Legal experts described his plea as strategic rather than remorseful, a way to minimize his sentence in the face of certain conviction. Sian Banks, too, faced the courts. She pleaded guilty to money laundering and assisting in the concealment of criminal activity. Prosecutors painted her as an integral part of Burton's empire, stating that without her logistical and financial support, his ability to operate would have been severely compromised. On February 11, 2025, Burton stood before Canterbury Crown Court for sentencing. The courtroom was packed with journalists, law enforcement, and families affected by the drugs his empire had funneled into communities. The judge delivered a blistering rebuke, citing the sophistication and scale of the operation, the societal damage inflicted, and the deliberate use of youth as a shield. He sentenced Burton to 24 years in prison. He would be eligible for parole only after serving 2/3 of that time. 2 weeks later, Sian Banks was sentenced to 7 years in prison, with the judge noting her central role in sustaining the fugitive lifestyle and laundering criminal proceeds. Burton and Banks' case is now used as a cautionary tale in police briefings and criminal justice seminars across the UK. It has sparked renewed conversation about how modern criminals operate in digital shadows, young, tech-savvy, and often overlooked by traditional profiling. The lesson: in today's world, the most dangerous criminals might not look the part. They don't need scars or tattoos. They just need signal, strategy, and silence. Eddie Burton's rise and fall is a reminder that crime today wears many faces. It can look like your neighbor, your classmate, or the boy next door. But behind that mask, the consequences remain the same: devastation, addiction, and shattered communities. Thank you for reading. If this story shocked or intrigued you, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more crime stories.